on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of CryptoZombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having an excellent day today. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are, for the most part, in the red. We did see a dip. There has been a slight bounce back. You can see Bitcoin got down to about $29,700. We have had that bounce back. Big question is, was that the actual bottom? Now, in yesterday's video, I told you guys that I actually closed out my long, and a lot of people were giving me flack, saying, what are you talking about? You're getting bearish. Look, guys, the key to trading is having a strategy and locking in your profits. Yes, Bitcoin could totally bounce back and we can go back to $42,000, but I was not sure at that time, so I locked my profits in, and that is how you need to trade responsibly in order to ensure that you actually are mitigating your risk. Now, aside from the trade and what's going on, we do need to talk about what is happening right now in the Bitcoin chart, because we did hit exactly on the 50-day moving average, but I'm going to tell you right now that this may not be over just yet. In fact, we could be in for a very rough ride this upcoming month of February, and I'm going to tell you exactly why in just a bit. Not only am I going to talk about that, but I also want to discuss the Ethereum chart as well. Lots of people saying that Ethereum could potentially flip the Bitcoin market cap. Now, that's not my words. That's what other people are saying, but I do want to talk about that controversial concept in today's video. Could buying Ethereum today actually be a smarter play than owning Bitcoin long term? And could Ethereum actually end up flipping the Bitcoin market cap? Well, I'm going to give my honest opinion on that. I'm also going to discuss why buying altcoins now could be a good strategy. I'll also let you know what I'm considering doing. And I also want to discuss something very, very important, which is, did we actually potentially have a Bitcoin top, and should you be looking to exit these markets soon? There are some signs that we have seen that could point to that. And not only to mention that, guys, I do have also a really great opportunity at the end of this video. If you do stick around to the end, it could be really cool to get some free cryptocurrency, relatively risk-free. That's at the end of the video. So we're going to cover a lot of different topics today. I'll try to be super quick about it. Stick with me, guys. We're going to pull through this. If you're new to the channel, definitely get subscribed, hit the bell button. Yeah, definitely actually make sure you hit the bell button, because some of these updates are actually pretty time sensitive, and you definitely want to get them when the video comes out. So the bell is somewhere below this video. If you're subscribed, you'll see the icon. So let's hop in. And one thing I just wanted to mention super quick, guys, we do have unstoppable domains finally. So they actually integrated with OKCoin. So if you're over at OKCoin Trading, you can now actually send and receive using your .crypto names, which is pretty cool. So instead of having a long string of addresses, you would just send it to like john.crypto or, kdub.crypto, for example. If you guys are interested, I do have a link below for unstoppable domains. Definitely check that out. Also, I'll go into that a little bit more at the end of the video, but Bitcoin price action, that's what everyone is looking at right now. You could see for a long time, we had not even come close to any of these moving averages, the 50, the 100, the 200, and we finally just touched down. Now, we did have a bounce off of that. The one thing I want to mention on the short term is that we have had a lot of these sort of hammer wicks, these wicks that get bought up. This is showing that a lot of people are buying these dips in anticipation. You can see we had one here, we had one here, we had one here, and we just had one right now where we touch down to this 50 moving average. Now, I just want to point out one thing that you sometimes need to look at when trying to figure out whether or not we've actually hit the top of a market. Now, I personally do not believe that we have hit the Bitcoin top, okay? But we may have hit the short-term top in the sense that we may go sideways or even lower for the next month. Now, I am going to show you a chart that could invalidate that, but what I want to discuss specifically is just have a look at the structure of this monthly chart. So this was the Bitcoin all-time high in 2017, and what you'll notice is that there's very long wicks at the top of these monthly candles, meaning that there's lots of selling pressure, right? Traders, investors are looking to short the asset. So right here, Bitcoin comes all the way up to 20 and boom, we have this long wick. Then the next month we come up to 17 and boom, we have this long wick back down to 13 again. And, that basically signaled the top of the bull market where we continue to just go down all the way to the bottom. And then on the inverse, you'll notice that we start getting these bigger wicks at the bottom. One great observation you can make is right here during this crazy March wick. Look at that wick all the way to the bottom. So this shows you that there's buying pressure, right? But getting back to the tops, because that's what we're concerned about at the moment, you can see right here back in June when we did have that crazy break back up to 14K, we did have another big wick all the way down. And having a look at this monthly candle, this is actually quite an ugly monthly candle so far for January. In fact, this is arguably one of the most ugliest candles that we've seen since this one back here on August of 2019, right? So this could potentially signal that the markets have been a little bit overbought, that we do need to be looking for a bit of a correction, sideways movement. And I told you in yesterday's video why I could see Bitcoin going down to some of these lower levels. Now, stick with me because I will show you a bullish scenario. But right now, it's not looking short-term bullish. Things could change tomorrow. We could break key resistances and then I'll change my tune. But this is why I'm not longing Bitcoin right now. I'm holding Bitcoin. I'm happy to buy Bitcoin, DCA, and accumulate, but I'm not really looking for a long just yet until we can break out of this downwards resistance and put in a meaningful daily candle. I actually have the 12-hour here, which I don't usually use that much, but I thought it was a little more descriptive, not descriptive, but you can kind of see more information right now. I mean, usually I go between the 4-hour and the daily, but for this specifically, I want to just point out the fact that, we do have this resistance. It's been heavy resistance. It's held us down 1, 2, 3, 4 times, okay? And we are starting to really, we've tested this $29,000 level almost 4 times now. And although we have gotten bought back up, keep in mind, we got bought back up here, but we ended up coming back down. We got bought back up here, but we ended up coming back down. So just because we're getting bought back up again doesn't mean that we couldn't take another leg lower. Now, there are 2 levels that I'm looking at specifically. And by the way, neither of these moves makes me long-term bearish. In fact, I consider these to be healthy consolidations. You can see right here, we do have this previous resistance flip support, which is the dotted yellow line. Let me get actually some of these green out of here. And then we also have the solid yellow right here, which you could see was the legacy trend, which I consider to be the more important trend that started back here on October. And you can see we've had multiple bounce, 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 and then we just got way, way, way off. So if Bitcoin was to continue to consolidate all the way down here, and that would bring us back down to about the $25,000 level that I told you guys about, potentially, that would still be bullish for Bitcoin, as long as we don't continue to then break down out of this, because if we break down below this level, you're talking maybe the $20,000 original 2017 high, and after that, guys, then we're probably in a bear market, and then, yeah, I'll probably see you in another 2 to 3 years before we start going up. But I do not think that's the case. I just think things could get a little bit crazy short term. So there is that possibility that we retest down here at around 27. We might have one more bounce back up and retest, and then there is that possibility of coming back down to the $25,000 level. Now, before everybody freaks out and says like, oh, why are you getting all doom and gloom on me? Well, there is one possibility. Now, do keep in mind that although we have had some bearish trends, some bearish formations in this rally, they keep breaking to the upside, right? Because it really doesn't matter. When you're in a bull run, there's no amount of news, there's no amount of technicals that can ever bring the chart down, right? What really causes selling is lack of buying, right? Essentially, like people just aren't buying. Big investors aren't getting in at these prices, right? We saw a lot of accumulation at around the $30,000 level. And I told you that they were going to protect that. But for how long? Well, this is why I believe there could be a shakeout. We do have a bit of a falling wedge right here. Now, a falling wedge is in fact a bullish pattern. So it is possible that we could bounce back up. We could get all the way back up to this. You see, there's a lot of level right here at this VPVR accumulation above my head at around $32,000. Now, if we do break out of that, come down, have some kind of a retest, or even just a retest right here at the VPVR and continue upwards, then the trend would be invalidated. Then the short-term trend would be invalidated, and then we would be going straight up. However, if we do continue to fall down here, I could see us, like I said, coming down to about this $26,000, $25,000 level before having that breakout again. Now, keep in mind that this would be a very boring start to February. It's also possible that we stay between these levels, hit the VPVR, and bounce sideways for the entire month of February. Now, I'm not saying that that's what they're going to do, but I will tell you this. One way you can scare people out of the market is by crashing the price. You know what another way is that you can sort of discourage people from getting involved? Making the market as boring as possible, right? So what if they were to drag this out all through February just to accumulate between the levels of 26 and 32 before sending it to the next level of 55, 100, 150K? That is a possibility. Having a look at the 4-hour, we are seeing a 50 moving average move below the 200. This is what is referred to as a death cross, right? And if we have the 100 move below the 200, then that would be a double death cross. And on the short term, that would not be good for Bitcoin. However, when we do zoom out and have a look at it on the bigger scale, it is fine, right? Macro looks okay, except for that scary monthly wick. Short term looking a little crazy. Now, let's talk about the opportunities in the altcoins, because sometimes people assume that I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist. I hold altcoins. I do. Crazy, right? That's crazy that KW, I do. I have altcoins, but I have a much larger allocation for Bitcoin. However, that might change starting now. And let me tell you my strategy. I am actually looking to start heavily accumulating Ethereum. Now, you might be saying, well, I missed the boat, right? I totally missed the boat on Ethereum. I don't believe I did. I believe that it was the smart decision to hold Bitcoin, especially during the bear market, leading into the major rally. But we have seen that after Bitcoin does have its major rallies, if you switch over to the total altcoin market cap, you notice that the altcoins always rally after Bitcoin. And if we are looking for a shakeout in Bitcoin going lower, or a sideways month for February Bitcoin, all three of those say it is altcoin season. It is time for the alts to pump. Now, be careful, because alt seasons can often be the biggest signals of the ending of the entire crypto run, the entire space, and then it might be time for you to consider, I don't know, getting out short term, or just, hey, if you got strong hands, holding for another, 2 to 3 years, which for me isn't a problem when it comes to Bitcoin. I believe in Bitcoin. I plan on holding Bitcoin probably indefinitely. I mean, will I sell some? Yeah, probably. I'll probably sell a percentage, but I'll never sell all my Bitcoin. But getting back to Ethereum, which I'll get into in a second, you can clearly see that Bitcoin has been rejected. We're looking to minimally go back down to about the 57% on the dominance. And what I do believe that will happen is that altcoins will continue to rally. Now, we did see Ethereum break its all-time high, and we saw Ethereum have a beautiful retest once on this significant resistance here, acting as support at around 912. And we saw Ethereum once again have another beautiful retest at around the $1,213 level, which was the other resistance as well. Now, having a look right here, you can see that Ethereum, just like Bitcoin, has gotten very far off of its trend. So there is a possibility for Ethereum to come down here and retest one of these three levels, right? Right here, or right here. Either way, even if Ethereum, which it's not going to go down to $400, that's insane. But even if it was hypothetically to come down somewhere on this lower level, if it was, I'd say maybe it retests around $800 to $900 in the worst case scenario. That would still be bullish for Ethereum. That would be an amazing opportunity, and I will actually be accumulating Ethereum. Now, let me show you one thing too on the Bitcoin Ethereum chart, which you have to pay attention to. Some people, they only look at the dollar value. Dollar values are great. I mean, that's how, most of us tend to look at our money, is in dollar value, right? But really, you need to look at the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, because Ethereum has not actually outperformed Bitcoin if you have a look at it since the peak. You can see that this chart has just gone lower and lower and lower and lower, which means that long term, Bitcoin still has been the place to keep your money. However, here's the thing that's interesting. If we take the all-time high right here, and I'm going on the solid close instead of this wick here, because that's just, crazy blow off top. Then we had this little blow off, but interestingly enough, that hit directly there. And if you actually zoom in and look at where we are right now, we just got rejected on the ETH to BTC descending trend. Now, this does mean that we could have Ethereum come back down here. However, considering the fact that we have seen Bitcoin dominance dropping, I think if we have a breakout of this resistance on the weekly this is Ethereum, retest down here somewhere, and then continue to go back up, I say rocket to the moon, strap on the seatbelt, buy some Ethereum, not financial advice, because Ethereum is probably about to lead the way for the altcoins, and we could potentially blast off into that alt season. So that is why I would say that accumulating Ethereum potentially at these levels, obviously right here before the 0.04 Bitcoin, or, you know, if you just want to look at dollar value, obviously anything under $1,400 would be a good buy for Ethereum. So here's something to consider. If Bitcoin is digital gold, and we know that gold has a market cap of give or take around $10 trillion today. I don't know the exact number. I haven't looked at it recently, but let's just say nice round number. It is about 10 trillion. Then we take the highest stock. Wow, I just realized this light wasn't even on. Oops. Then we take the highest stock right now, which is Apple, sitting at around, what is Apple? 2.4, 2.6, something like that, $trillion. And we look at that, you realize that gold still is the best investment over any stock, right? Long term. It has the highest cap and it probably won't be flipped, which makes people say that Bitcoin could never be flipped by Ethereum. Now, I happen to be one of these believers. I do not actually think that Ethereum will flip Bitcoin. That's a personal belief. You may disagree. However, there is something that we must consider when it comes to Ethereum, and that is the fact that Ethereum isn't really like a stock. Ethereum is almost like the internet in a way of blockchain, right? You can build applications on top of it. It's an entire ecosystem. Same thing goes for Polkadot, but just for example, I'm going to stick with Ethereum. So while Bitcoin will always be that sound money, it will always be the hard money, it will always be the safest bet, you have to ask yourself, is Ethereum more than just a crypto stock? Is it actually like an entire new sort of internet, blockchain internet, right? With decentralized finance and applications and different types of websites, even though not websites that could be running on it, right? But even with things like crypto domains, you have to see the potential with the NFTs, the in-game assets, the oracles, the ability to transfer data and value. So that, my friends, is why I have decided that accumulating Ethereum, especially if we break out above this Bitcoin level retest, is probably one of the best decisions right now. And I have started to heavily accumulate Ethereum. And once again, maybe I am a little bit late to the party, although I did have some Ethereum trades back when it was like 100 to 200, but I just felt that Bitcoin was the safest bet. But like I said, if Bitcoin is looking for that top out, we are looking for that sideways, we are looking for the alt season, it will be led by Ethereum. And if we do have this new ecosystem of decentralized finance, and it truly does become what a lot of my fellow peers think it could be, then I absolutely could not understand why someone wouldn't want to have Ethereum in their portfolio. And also, if we go into an alt season, we all know there's going to be a lot of opportunity to make a lot of money, right? And some people say we're already in the altcoin season. I disagree. This to me is not alt season. Alt season is when everything across the board is pumping, 10x, 20x, 25x. I mean, right now, some altcoins are doing well, but I mean, if you go into the top 20, they're not all pumping right now, right? So that being said, that is my take on that. And I did want to just tell you guys about one project I do have my eye on right now, and this is Klondike, and it's actually launching in 46 minutes. And no, I am not shilling it. I am not telling you to go buy it. In fact, I just want to let you know how you can get some absolutely free Klondike. They are about to open this up, and if you're holding Bitcoin, you know, you can hold it on Ethereum as WBTC, right? You can have wrapped Bitcoin. It's not technically really Bitcoin, but you're still having exposure to the asset. I wouldn't hold all my Bitcoin in WBTC, but if you're holding Bitcoin and it's sitting in your wallet and it's not doing anything, in 46 minutes from now, by the time you watch this video, it's probably going to be live. You can actually head over here and pick a different bank, and you can earn Klon, which is the token for Klondike, simply for just depositing your WBTC or RenBTC. They also have KBTC, BDIG as well, but personally, you do what you want, higher risk, higher reward. For me, I would stick with something like a wrapped Bitcoin or a Ren Bitcoin. That's just what I would do. You do what you want. You can actually send it over there, deposit it. You can earn Klon, absolutely free tokens. Basically no risk at all, except the risk of if the price of Bitcoin goes down. That's the risk of holding Bitcoin anyway. So I just wanted to bring that opportunity to you guys as well. And also just kind of tying it in with the whole Ethereum and decentralized finance thing. For example, we saw that OKCoin has now become the first exchange to implement blockchain domain names over at Unstoppable Domains, meaning that you can send to a .crypto address instead of having to deal with this long string of numbers. And we do know that the barrier to entry, especially to DeFi, has been one of the biggest things holding it back. And according to the co-founder Brad Cam, he talks about you being able to control the domain name stored in your wallet just like a regular domain. You can update it, you can add records. To update the record, you just sign a message with the private key that controls the domain and write information to the blockchain. Now, he may even be over complicating it in his way of describing it, because really, what you see is this beautiful integration over here and a very simple app where you can actually even chat, you can send money to friends, and these are the types of integration that we're looking for. And I am bullish on DeFi, I am bullish on Ethereum, I am bullish on Polkadot. But like I said, I still just want to see those applications, because right now, even farming is like really confusing for the average person. Just trying to calculate okay, if I stake this and I become a liquidity provider over here and I do that, etc., gets a little bit confusing, right? But these are still the early days. And I guess the point I'm trying to make, if I can wrap this video up. Oh, by the way, guys, if you do want to check out Unstoppable Lanes, link below in the description. You are obviously helping to support the channel if you use the link. But essentially, just to wrap up today's video, if you're just in it for a quick flip, you're just in it for the money, be very careful, because we could be entering a little bit of a shakeout right now, right? The other thing is, long term, I'm still a Bitcoin bull. I do believe that now could be now keep in mind, this is if you've been holding Bitcoin, whatever. I do think now could be a good opportunity to start dollar cost averaging into Ethereum. I do think Ethereum could still take another dip. I think Ethereum could dip back down to potentially even below $1,000. It is possible, but I do think if you're dollar cost averaging, it would be a great opportunity. Right now, if you're trading Bitcoin, good luck. You can check Bybit right now. As you can see, it's already getting a little bit shaky over here. I do have a tutorial. You can check that out below in the description. There's $620 actually in giveaways. Apparently I was off. I've been saying 520. I guess they're giving away another 100 that I was unaware of. But ultimately that's my take on it. Not going to ramble anymore. Let me know what you guys think. Could Ethereum overtake Bitcoin? I do not think so. But Ethereum does have qualities that a traditional stock does not, in the sense that it is a platform it can be built on top of. So, when looking at things like, Web3 and the promises that it has to offer, why you wouldn't be exposed to Ethereum, or at least minimally, I don't really know. I don't really know. But then again, there are Bitcoin maxis out there. I just think that each crypto has its place. Some of them I think are absolute garbage. They're good for speculation. But when it comes to the top coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, kind of can't go wrong with that. Polkadot could potentially be the underdog. And I'm going to be bringing you guys some altcoins that I have my eyes on. In fact, one of them that hasn't even come out yet. I wasn't even going to share this with you guys today, but this is actually called Paralink Network, and this is a multi-chain oracle that is going to be powered by Polkadot. So we all know that oracles did really well on Ethereum. In fact, a lot of them, we had the opportunity to make a lot of sick gains on them, right? We talked about things like Parsec when it first came out. So just keep an eye on this. It's not even out yet, guys. They may have done the sale. I have no idea, but when it comes out, I will keep you up to date on that, and I will let you know some good quality projects that I'm keeping my eyes on. And if you stuck around to the end of this video, congratulations. I know I kind of went off on a tangent, but I hope you found some kind of value out of it. I hope you understand that, it is kind of scary times right now having a look at this Bitcoin chart. When you do look at the way that these wicks kind of happen at the top of these long trends, and, looking at something like this, it wouldn't be out of the question to see Bitcoin come down here, and retest something down here again before moving to the upside. So it was really fun. We made a lot of money. There's going to be a lot more money to be made, but I do believe that if we do continue the next few months, or even just at least minimally the next month, going sideways and down, I do believe that it's an excellent opportunity to dollar cost average into Bitcoin and Ethereum specifically, also Polkadot, and keep your eyes out for the altcoins. The altcoins could potentially rally into a ballistic cycle where you can make a lot of money, but as I said in my video yesterday, be careful. Most of these altcoins won't survive. Most of them are going to lose 99 to 100. Well, you can't really lose 100% of your value. You could actually, but a lot of them will lose over 90%. So be smart, have a strategy, know when to get in, know when to get out. And yeah, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. My name's K-Dub. This is CryptoZombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.